Well, first, Coach Hilmer, just tell us first off why right now was the right time that you decided that you wanted to kind of take the next step in your career and head over to Bellevue.
Yeah, I've been taking superintendent classes for the last couple of years and really interested in it. Find it kind of fascinating, some of the duties that they have and the way they can lead young people. So it's kind of been a passion of mine to be able to lead a school at some point in my career. And Bellevue popped up, and we started researching the school a little bit, and they have a lot of the same values and belief systems that my wife and I have and that our family has, and we thought it might be a good fit, so we threw our name in the hat and went down for interviews. Loved everything about it when we were down there, and the people were great, the school was great, and decided to take a leap of faith. It wasn't an easy decision. Obviously, we didn't want to leave North Linn. We really love it here. I have a lot of friends here. It's gonna be hard to leave the boys basketball team. I had to talk to them the other day, and that was a tough one, but we feel like it's a great move professionally, for me and for my wife and family. It's going to be a good thing down the road, so we're excited about it.
What did you tell the boys, and what was their reaction? What did they have to say back to you too?
Yeah, I just, I tell them the same thing I tell them every year. I love them, and I always know that the success that I've had is really not relevant to me. It's all the great people I've had around me. So I thanked them for all that they've done for me, both personally and professionally. Mostly for just being great kids. I really don't care about winning the state championship or having 20 wins or whatever the case is. I'm more proud of the way that those guys behave inside and outside of the classroom, and especially outside of the school building in general. We have a lot of great kids, and that's really my passion, is for them to hopefully develop into great husbands and community leaders and things like that. And we got a ton of them on our team and have for many years since I've been here, so I've been pretty lucky.
How'd they take it when you told them?
It's hard to tell. I was pretty emotional, so I was just giving them each a hug and all that, and I'm hoping they feel the same way, about me leaving, and it's tough for them, but they got a great group coming back, and they'll be totally fine, and I'm excited to watch and see how they do, and I'll always root for the Lynx for sure. I guess if they play the Comets, I might have to change that, but otherwise I'll always be rooting for the Lynx.
Do you have any connections out in Bellevue? Any family or anything out there? Or, is your only connection that you've played them a bunch of times in basketball, I assume?
Well, I have one kind of strange connection, to be quite honest. So way back in the early 2000s, we played a game up there, and we won on a last-second shot. And the coach that was coaching at the time, him and I kind of became friends, and his young son came up, and I would work with him on shooting and footwork and stuff like that, and we just kind of started to get a friendship going. And his son actually sat on our state tournament bench for several years, even though he was from Bellevue. And one of the guys from Bellevue one day said to Rick, he said, "God, that guy that sits on North Linn's bench looks a lot like your son Cam." And he goes, "Yeah, that is my son Cam." So it's just a kind of a crazy story going around. But I do know quite a few of the people up there, and I haven't had interpersonal relationships with them, but professionally I know a lot of people up there, and they're all great people. So really good fit. And one of the things I've been telling everybody, I see all this hubbub now. I didn't realize it was going to be this big a deal that I quit coaching. My boys go, "It's going to be a pretty big deal." And I said, "Guys, it's one guy quitting coaching. This is no big deal, And I was teasing them last night. I said, everybody keeps talking about basketball, and I've been coaching junior high track for so many years, and nobody's even mentioning that I'm leaving the junior high track position. So I must be a horrible track coach.
How did the track athletes take it? Have you told them so far?
You know what? We haven't even really talked about it with them. They're the middle school kids, and they kind of know what's coming, but they're fine. So
I know that you've got a younger daughter too. Is she excited about the opportunity? Is she on board, or is it going to be hard for her to leave North Linn too?
It's honestly be hard for anybody to leave North Linn. North Linn's a great place. I know my wife and I have shed a lot of tears over the last few days, but they're really happy tears. We're proud of what we've done here. We're proud of the school that we're leaving, and we're hoping to be able to go to Bellevue, which seems like a very parallel school to North Linn. Lots of good kids, lots of good staff, and I'm hoping just to go fit in there and continue what Tom Meyer has built there, and he's done a great job as a superintendent. So it might be a little tough following a guy that great, but I'm excited for it. Our family's excited for it. Jory, she just tells her friends. Her friends were crying at her house the other day, and she said, "Guys, there's nothing we can do about it. I'm moving, so we got to move on." So yeah, so those times are tough, but we'll get over those at some point, and then just be excited for what's ahead of us.
What's the legacy you hope you leave here behind at North Linn?
The thing that I've always tried to stress to kids is be, high character and integrity and things like that. So I'm hoping the legacy I leave is that's what the kids got from me. Everybody talks about the basketball the last several years and things like that, but To really be quite honest, anybody could have coached these kids. They're great kids. They're great athletes. They'll work hard for you, and I really don't see that as my success. I see it as our success here. We've got great parents, great teachers. We've got great kids, and all of it jives together. The coaches all get along really well. So hopefully the legacy is we did what's best for kids while I was here, and we helped them develop into better people.
I'm sure a lot of people are asking, is coaching in your rearview mirror now, or do you think that eventually you'll maybe get back into basketball coaching one day?
Yeah, I'm passionate about coaching, obviously, or I wouldn't have done it for 33 years, but I've put it in my rearview mirror for now. I've got an objective to be a great superintendent for the community of Bellevue, and I really hope that comes to fruition and people are proud of what we do there. If it comes back someday, after I retire from everything and there's a basketball job open, I'll jump on it in a heartbeat if somebody wants me. So, but right now, yeah, that's not something I'm even thinking about.
Now, it seems like retirement could be several years down the road from now. So if you do get back into coaching, though, it sounds like it wouldn't be any time in the near future.
No, I plan to go to Bellevue, and we plan to get there until our retirement, and whenever that happens, and then we'll look for the next best thing after that, and hopefully we're at Bellevue, and I'm looking for a job around that area somewhere to coach if that happens, and if not, we'll be real happy just living in the community and being a good part of it.
Yeah. You've spoken about some of the difficulties of making the decision, but overall, what would you say was the most challenging? What was the most difficult part about making the decision to leave North Linn and head over there?
Yeah, a lot of people think it's coaching, but it really isn't. It's more, coaching's coaching, but you can coach anywhere and any level. I'm hoping to be coaching my daughter's, young team at Bellevue, unless they've already got somebody in place for first grade. But, it's the friends you leave behind, and you think back to when you were first here, and I got a nice letter from one of the kids that was on my first team here as a point guard, and we won 4 or 5 games that year. But he was a great kid to have on the team, a great leader. I can still remember all the things he brought to the table. And his mom later sent me a message, and I've gotten, I don't know how far-reaching this has been, but I've gotten messages from kids that I had taught in 7th grade in Esterville, so it's obviously spread a little bit and things like that. But the toughest part is just leaving your friends and leaving something you're used to. And you tell kids all the time that if you're comfortable, you need to get out of the comfort zone, and that's what we're doing. We're moving on to the next challenge, and we're pretty excited about it.
Is North Linn your alma mater, or where did you go to high school?
No, I went to Forest City High School.
Okay, that's right, I knew that, yeah. So when was it, remind me the year that you would have come and started coaching at North Linn? I know that you were with your dad for a handful of years, right?
So I've been here 25 years.
Okay.
And my dad was here with me for 5.
Okay.
When my son became a freshman, he came, and so he stayed all the way till Jake graduated, and then Austin was a sophomore after that year. My dad, he didn't want to drive as much at night and was ready to be done, and so he hasn't been with us the last several years. Really, it actually was the year of COVID, but that wasn't the reason he quit coaching. It just happened to be coincidental that that was the last year he was here.
I think I've always just wondered, what changed over the last 7, 8, 9 years? Because North Linn, I think I saw, hadn't been to state since '77, and then in '17 you guys made it and haven't missed it since. Did you change something in your coaching philosophy over that time? I know this is a little bit far afield from taking the job at Bellevue, but I've always just wondered what kind of flipped with you, or what was it getting some of your sons in high school, or how that change kind of happened?
Yeah, I'll be quite honest. I really believe we had some really great kids, great athletes, but we were coaching them all the way since they were in first and second grade, and we had every one of those grades has had a coach in our system that was coaching those youth programs, and they just grew up loving the game, and we've always had kind of a marquee player and a lot of good players around them. So the real, people call all the time and say, what's the secret to your success? And most of the secret to our success is talent, but I will say one change that we did make, and I recommend a lot of other people make it, and some are starting to do that, is we started to press full court, make or miss, and turn it into a fast-paced game. It's fun for kids, forces the other team to make everybody good on their team. They can't just rely on one guy, and I really think that's been probably the biggest change we made, and we haven't stopped doing it. We started that actually the year before we got to the state tournament. We were 21-2, and Alburnett beat us right before the district final game, and since then, I think we've lost 10, 11 games in those 10 years, so it's been a pretty amazing run.
What's the biggest piece of advice you want to give to your successor who takes over I'll just focus on the North Linn basketball team, what you would want to impart the advice to them? Yeah,
my advice would be teach kids high character, teach them to be good people, and teach them to work hard, and live with your style, whatever style coach you are. You got to coach your personality, and I'm excited for whoever takes it. You know, sometimes you coach too long and people say, well, that guy, he used to be a good coach, you know. So I think it was Paul Runquist sent me a message and said, man, you're leaving your career on a win. That doesn't happen very often. I said, well, it wasn't really planned, but, you know, just to enjoy it. I know that, you know, the wins and all that come and people expect you to keep winning and things like that. But the most important part is the relationships you have with the kids. And if you can just go and enjoy it and kind of soak it in, that's probably the best part about coaching.
Would it have been harder to take another job if you hadn't just won a state title, or do you think that things would have played out exactly the same if you had not won against Bellevue?
Yeah, honestly, I don't think that would have made any difference to me. It might have made a difference to some other people, but if we were 2-20 last year, it wouldn't have mattered either. I have told people for years nobody ever believes me, but I've coached an 0-21 team before, and those days are just as fun coaching. You can see the potential in the kids, and you can see them improve just as much when you're not winning as when you're winning. You just probably don't get as much commotion behind the scenes when you're winning. But and I think coaching's fun at any level, any sport. I think just being with kids and teaching them to be better is a lot of fun. So,
anything else you want to say, Coach?
No, I do want to say thank you to North Linn. I've had a lot of great years here. I've met a lot of great people. Lots of people have been reaching out to me the last week or two, and last few days, I guess would be the best way to put it. But I'm amazed at how many people from way back when have reached out and all that kind of stuff, and I really appreciate that because it shows that we did make an impact while we were here. I also want to thank Bellevue. We're really excited. Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a great fit. It's a really good school. Researched a lot about it. Nothing bad at all. No red flags. So we're really excited to go there and try to lead that community as well.